Some of the images you were just shown are of Spinosaurus aegyptius. Hi, I'm your host Eli, and this is...
Hi, I'm the co-host, Ewan.
And today we'll be talking about one of the most elegant, most beautiful, most terrifying, biggest, and most mysterious dinosaurs
to ever be discovered.
And I hope you all enjoy. So, what did Spinosaurus look like? Now, like all dinosaurs, we can only guess. We can't assume what it would look like. But we're going to be talking about what people guessed it could look like. So this is the original design from 1912 when it was first discovered. Now, it looks a lot different from the Spinosaurus you recognize. That's because back then, they didn't have the head fossil. That's what I'm going to say. It looks a lot like the T-Rex. As you can see, it just has a giant sail on its back. So that's all we can really say about it. Now, moving over to this design. People thought it looked like this? What? Okay. I'm going to cut them some slack. This design is from 1915. 3 years after Spinosaurus was originally discovered. Okay, I'll cut them some slack, because later leg bones were discovered. I'm pretty sure. Again, we can only assume it was leg bones of Spinosaurus, but I doubt it looked like this. Anyways, moving over to about 1930s-ish, like 1920s-ish, back when dinosaurs started getting more diversity. Spinosaurus still didn't have a long skull, an elongated snout, like most designs these days have it. But instead, it still has a short snout, but it's more hunched over, and it is more like an actual theropod instead of standing up like they all were in the 19s, or in the 1910s, things past, before that, all that. And then there's this design. This design is early, so can't blame them for it. This design is... This is when they found... I'm pretty sure they started assuming it had an elongated snout for catching fish. And it still has that giant sail, but it's hunched over, and the sail kind of just spreads all over its back, instead of being like a bumpy shape as it is in current day assumptions. Speaking of current day, this one is the 2000 Spinosaurus. Now, you might recognize this because of this fella. This is the Spinosaurus, Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous, and Jurassic Park 3. Now, this is the design. That was thought to be at the time. It was later, but it was later reincarnated about maybe 10 years ago. And I'm gonna say it myself, I think this design is better for me. This is my opinion. Moving over to about the early 2010s, we got this design. Now this design was when people started making Spinosaurus more like stubby instead of like a meat-eating killing monster. As you can tell, its legs it's closer to the ground. Its main body is closer to the ground. The sail is a little bit, it has like a little deformity. And then the snout has this little hump in its mouth to have it easier catch the fish. And then we move over to the current design, the Spinosaurus. This is I like this design. I'm gonna say that this one is one of my favorites. It has a elongated snout, like a really elongated snout. It's still kind of stubby, closer to the ground. It still has a hump in it, which is pretty cool. It has the wider tail to propel it more like a fish, and that is pretty nice. And now we move Ever since Spinosaurus has been discovered, it's been a big controversy in the paleontology community. Many arguments and theories have been stated about it, like if something like this is possible. Or maybe the possibility of it actually being able to swim. Or maybe the purpose of its tail. Don't worry, I'm going to discuss all these questions with you. And we'll learn the truth of what could have happened with this animal. Spinosaurus versus T-Rex was not possible, unfortunately. Spinosaurus lived in the Jurassic, T-Rex lived in the Cretaceous. But something that was possible for Spinosaurus to be up against one of the big four carnivores was Spinosaurus versus Carcharodontosaurus. Now, these two did live in the same era, they lived at the same time. During the dry season, Spinosaurus would not have any fish to eat, so it would wander on land and probably have some encounters with Carcharodontosaurus then, and if Carcharodontosaurus ever needed to take a drink from the territory of Spinosaurus. And if you're worried about T-Rex, T-Rex couldn't fight Spinosaurus, but you know what it could fight? Giganotosaurus. So that means that Jurassic World Dominion got something right at least. Anyways, so for the next question. Could Spinosaurus swim? Most likely, yes, if I were to say it myself, but I did not go to college. I am not registered for any of that, so I'll not be making any claims. But there have been many discussions about this topic. Now, some people say it could swim, some people say it couldn't. But I think since it's a piscivore, a fish-eating dinosaur for you uneducated people, that most likely, yeah, it would crawl in the water if it needed to get closer to the animals it hunted. But a lot of people have been saying that because of dense bones, it most likely couldn't swim. And I can definitely agree with that theory as well. Now, for the next question. What was the purpose of Spinosaurus' tail? Now, I'm going to throw my own hand in this. I'm going to say it was for mating purposes. To attract female ones. Just like how peacocks and lions have much poofier features on the males, and the females are more bland. How peafowls are like a dark brown or grayish, and the males are light blue and usually green, with many different other colors. And then things like lions have their manes, and the females don't. That's just some gender differences. So I would have to say that Spinosaurids, the male ones, would have a much more colorful sail. Meanwhile, females would have a much less colorful sail, a much more drab sail, because they don't have to impress anybody. Now, there's many different theories on this. My theory, which I just gave, that's a bunch of other people's theories. Intimidation, just like how peacocks' tail feathers are. When they spread out, they're supposed to make themselves look bigger. And also, for heat regulation, like how Stegosaurus's plates are for. They are meant to conduct heat. Since these were most likely cold-blooded animals, they were meant to conduct heat to their body by using the sun. Now, most dinosaurs, if I had to guess, would probably bask if they didn't have things like this. But things like Stegosaurus, Kentrosaurus, and probably Spinosaurus had formations on their back so that the sun would go onto it and spread that heat through its body more easily instead of waiting out in the sun. So, at the end of all this, we've learned a lot about Spinosaurus ever since it was first discovered, but there's still a lot more we need to learn. We've learned all the aging of its design throughout the years. We've learned what the conflict between it and all the paleontologists that study it are. And, well, I don't know. We'll probably learn more in the future. We'll learn, hopefully, what it would most likely look like in what it most likely did look like in the past. We'll learn what it could look like in the future. Well, and if Jurassic Park ever comes true, please don't come true. We will learn what what it actually looked like, and maybe at the end of all this, we'll have a perfectly normal dinosaur. So, in conclusion, Spinosaurus is one of the most mysterious, the biggest, and most interesting dinosaurs to ever exist.
I hope you all enjoyed. Goodbye. Wait, you want to see some bloopers?
So, in conclusion,
You messed it up again.
Man!
Why? Wait, do you want to hear some overlaid videos on Eli's body?
On Eli's body.
Why? I don't know why I said that.
Some of the images you were just shown are of Spinosaurus aegyptus. Hi, I'm your host Eli, and this is.
Hi, I'm.
Oh my. Yawn! Again! We just did this! Ah! The images you were just shown were of Spinosaurus aegyptus. I'm your host Eli, and this is.
Hi, I'm the guest Ewan.
And we will be talking about one of the most. Yawn again! Yawn! Why?
Okay.
The purpose of Spinosaurus' sail. Now, this is a big one in discussion. I would personally have to say that they probably used it for mating purposes, trying to impress a female. Just like how ostriches have that tail. It's meant for intimidation, but it's also meant for displaying towards the female peacocks. I said ostriches.
Hey, you want to hear what it sounds like when Eli's talking 11 times in a row? Come with me.
Could Spinosaurus ever T-Rex most likely could Spinosaurus I would like to T-Rex live in modern times. Spinosaurus some people say it could, some people say I think it's a pistol, but hearing the